Hey everybody, Adam Davidson, RadCast for Monday, August 17th, 2020. Good to see you all. Today, let's get to it right now in Matthew chapter 7, shall we? 7:24, Jesus is speaking. Here's what he says. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. And that's the word of the Lord. Two questions out of this text. One, why is it that we would build our lives on sand? What is the temptation there? Well, if you think about it, building on sand is way easier than building on a rock. First of all, if you've ever set up like a tent or a tarp or a canopy on a beach, super easy just to put the stakes in the sand. You know they're completely worthless when the wind kicks up, but it is way, way easier to build on sand and to anchor to sand than it is to rock. Plus you've got gravity that's kind of going against you because usually the rocky places are up high away from the water, not close to the water and downward where gravity is on your side when you're moving materials. It's more work to move stuff upward to build a house on the rock. And quite honestly, you want to be closer to the fun. The closer to the water, the better. The less time you have to go from your doorway to the water, the better, right? If you're up on the rock, you got to go down these stairs and all that. Who wants to be that far away? Well, only people who want to be safe from the times when the waters rise and the wind blows up because, man, we cannot have a life that crumbles, and yet it could happen so very easily. We're all tempted to cut corners in our lives, and as followers of Jesus, we can't do that. We've got to keep hearing his words and putting them into practice, loving God, loving others, living out the Beatitudes, being the hands and feet of Jesus in our communities, in our families, in our schools, at work, and even at our own church. And the other question I have is this: who is it that's doing the building? Because I don't want to build a life by myself, man. I don't think that Jesus is saying, here's a building plan, good luck. I want to let him build my life, but yet I know that I need to be responsible to follow him and to do what he says. Like, I have a part to play in this. So I came across Psalm 127. It's just one verse, and here's what it says. I think it perfectly synthesizes or synergizes these two ideas together. Who's doing the building? The psalmist says, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Super short, let me say it again. Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Who's doing the building? Well, the builders, obviously. But what you don't want is for the builders to build alone. You want the builders to build with the Lord. As the Lord builds, the builders build, and somehow they work together. This is what it is to join Jesus in his work, even in the work of building our own lives. I was thinking about all this because yesterday at my church, Hank led us in this song, Build My Life, and I keep stirring on this little bridge part of the song again and again. And so I wanted to end RadCast with a little piece of that song. This is the first song we've ever done on RadCast, and maybe the last. We'll see how it goes. But check it out. If you know this, sing along. It goes like this. I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation. I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken. Ooh. I love that song. That's a good one. Think about that today. Join me in thinking about that today, and it'll be a good day. That's RadCast.